In this video, we're going to go over how you lose weight, but in a slower way. We're going to focus on more paleo diets and gluten-free diets in this video. What I suggest before you start losing weight is to pull out a piece of paper, write the days on it, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And what you're going to do is you're going to record all the food that you're eating. It's really important to see what you're eating before you even start, because you might not realize what you're eating. When I first started eating healthy, I thought, oh, well, I eat really good. I don't eat much junk food at all. And then once I started writing things down, I realized I was eating candy bars and cupcakes. 6 cupcakes a day. And I was saying, well, I eat really healthy. But the food chart makes you look at what you really are eating. So let's start from there. Start where you are, and then we're going to start adding more really healthy foods in that taste good too. The first thing that I want you to do is to wake up in the morning and start with a smoothie. We're going to start with a fruit and green smoothie. You don't want to put dairy in there. We don't want to put yogurts or milks or anything like that in there. If you want to put almond milk, then that's okay. But we're going to start with a smoothie with romaine or spinach and some water and some fruit. And I also like to put wild herbs into my smoothie. So if you have any kind of supplements that you want to add into your smoothie, maybe even some protein in the morning, that's a good time. I actually made a video already showing what I put into my drinks, so just go look for that video. So what are we going to have for lunch? I suggest a humongous bowl of salad. You don't want to think about how much you're eating, you want to think about the quality that you're eating. So let's put a whole bunch of greens, your favorite greens in there, and a whole bunch of vegetables. You want to put a little bit of dressing on there, that's okay. Just put a little bit, because remember, we're not going swimming in it. I suggest non-dairy dressing. However, if you want to start with just a little bit, I can understand. It's a transitional period. Sometimes we have to start with some dressings and then slowly move to non-dairy dressings. What you should not be putting on your salad. I do not recommend putting meat on your salad. I do not recommend putting cheese on your salad or yogurt. Anything with dairy, anything with meat. We want to focus on getting as much fruits and vegetables, and I mean raw fruits and vegetables, into our salads. So you could put your spinach or your romaine or both. You can put some cauliflower. You can put broccoli, mushrooms, onions. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can put in it. I suggest putting vegetables in your salad with greens, because greens and vegetables digest properly together. But you don't want to throw a whole bunch of vegetables in your salad and fruit, because they digest differently. Greens, it doesn't matter. You can take greens and put it in any combination. If you want to do fruit and greens, that's okay. If you want to do vegetables and greens, that's okay. The main focus of the salad is to eat something big, as much as you want, that's raw. Raw fruits and vegetables is our focus. So now that it's dinner, what do we eat? Well, if you're going to eat cooked meals, I suggest eating them later in the day. So we're going to have our cooked meals 3, 4 o'clock, the minimal, but we also don't want to eat really past about 8 o'clock. It's really good to allow a couple hours before you go to bed. We don't want to be eating in that time period, because your body, it takes a lot of work to break down your food, and it'll take away from your sleep if you're eating at 10 o'clock or something like that. So it's good to stop eating about 8 o'clock, and if you want to have anything after that, a cup of tea, warm tea, that's okay, or some water. So what are we going to have for dinner? One of the things that I absolutely love having for dinner when I have a cooked meal is soup. You're going to take a whole bunch of vegetables and put it in there. There's frozen vegetables that come in a bag. I like to get organic frozen vegetables, throw them in there, and a little bit of potatoes, onions, broccoli, just a whole bunch of vegetables with broth. Do not go and get a can of soup. There's going to be so much sodium in that. You want to go get the stock, and I think it's okay to have sodium in some of your stock. You don't have to get the low sodium because it doesn't taste good. You can get the sodium stuff. It's better to get a vegetable broth, and I'll get the vegetable broth and water it down. Now I'm making a video showing you how to make soup, so you can go check out that video. What else do I suggest? I suggest home cooked meals. Don't be going out to eat. That's what you want to focus on. There's a meal that I really like. It's a taco salad meal, and I'll take about 1/4 a pound of burger, and then I'll cut up a whole bunch of vegetables, some tomatoes, lettuce, onions. We don't put any dairy on there, no cheese, but a whole bunch of vegetables, a tiny bit of meat, and some organic tortilla corn chips, and I really enjoy that as a meal. If you want to get some tips, look at the paleo diet. That's kind of what you're wanting to do, is the paleo diet, but not as probably as fully as they explain it. I believe that you should only be eating 2 servings of meat a week, no more. That's what I did when I started losing the weight. I didn't eat any more than 2 servings a week. Now, what is 2 servings? 2 eggs is going to be 1 serving, 1 burger, not a humongo burger, 1/4 pound, a little bit of chicken, that's 1 serving. If you want to eat the meat, you want to keep it very, very minimal. Now, I don't suggest doing dairy. I know it's going to be hard to transition sometimes, so if you need to put just a little bit in your meals, that's okay, but you're going to work to getting as much dairy to no dairy in your diet as possible. Another thing that you don't want to be putting in your food is noodles. We don't want noodles. We don't want to eat noodles anymore. We don't want to eat cereal anymore. We don't want to eat bread anymore. I know this is going to be really hard because bread is very addictive. Cereal, noodles, it's all really addictive. But a lot of people don't realize that it's not healthy for them, because as soon as it gets into your body, it turns into sugar. And you know sugar is not good for you. Actually, sugar is poisonous to the body, any kind of processed foods. So when you're eating noodles, you're actually poisoning your body. I would suggest also go looking for books like Wheat Belly, because they talk about the gluten-free diet. You want to keep all the gluten out of the food that you eat. One reason that you don't want the dairy is because the dairy also causes a lot of mucus in your body. So you know how you get all those allergies and you have mucus coming out of your nose and out of your throat because you're coughing? That's all because of all the dairy that you have in your body. So it's good not to be eating dairy anymore as much as possible. When you're eating your meals, try to focus on eating whole foods. If you have to eat meats, you want to keep it to 2 servings of animal products a week. You want to be eating fruits, vegetables. At dinner, you can be eating them cooked. Other than that, you want to try to eat as much raw fruits and vegetables as possible. A lot of people don't even realize, I don't count calories. We don't need to count calories. If you're eating the proper food, you don't need to count calories. Your body is counting nutrition, not calories. When you're eating really healthy, you can eat as much fruits and vegetables as you want. So if you get hungry in between the meals, go for something raw. There's lots of raw treats out there. You can even make you a raw treat and feel like you can eat as much as you want and not worry about it. There's a sundae that I make. I'm going to be giving you guys the video. If you want to have that for lunch, a sundae with some fruit, it's really only made out of bananas and stuff, so it's really good for you. So you can say, yeah, what am I having for lunch? I'm having a sundae, and you can eat it all and it's guilt-free, because you're going to be eating whole foods. The focus is eating as much whole foods as possible. Stay away from the processed sugars and the processed foods. Now that you know what to eat, let's go over some basics. You want to focus on getting as much fruits and vegetables in as possible. The more you eat, the more you're going to lose. Raw fruits and vegetables. Also, don't focus about, oh, well, I have to eat all this really healthy food. I can't do that. Try to get as much in as you can. If you feel like you absolutely have to have that candy bar, I understand. You know, it's a learning thing. We need to focus on getting more good foods in our body and not really focus on the other stuff. If you need to eat a candy bar, eat half of it or a couple pieces and then put it away. Also, another really good tip is to not have processed foods or sugars in your house. You want to keep all that junk out of your house. If you don't buy it, you won't eat it. If it's sitting there in the cabinet, I guarantee you're going to eat it. So let's go over what you should be eating and what you shouldn't to wrap up. First of all, eat as much raw fruits and vegetables as possible. And if you can't eat them raw, it's okay to eat them cooked, but try to keep them towards the end of the day. Eat nuts and seeds. That's a really good snack. You can eat that. That's okay. Eat healthy fats. Avocados, they're really good. They help fill me up. Those are in the raw tacos. When I feel really hungry, I'll be eating the healthy fats, the healthy oils, the raw tacos. The basic thing is to make sure that you're focusing on eating whole foods. Now let's talk about the foods that you shouldn't be eating. Grains, dairies, processed foods, sugars, and alcohol. All that stuff is not good for our body. It's actually very poisonous to our body. So let's keep it out of our diet as much as possible. I understand at first it might be hard because we're so addicted, but the focus is eating more of the good foods and not worrying about the bad foods. If you have to eat a little, then that's where you are. I understand. But when I lost the weight, I focused on eating as much of the good foods as possible, as much fruits and vegetables as possible. If you're going to eat a paleo diet with very little meat or a gluten-free diet, that's where you're going to be losing your weight. You want to stay away from all the processed sugars as possible and all the sugar products as possible. Alright guys, now go look at the next video on how you lose weight even faster. I put this video together and that video because you might have to integrate the both to where you're standing, where you're at. If you want to lose weight really quick and you can dedicate yourself to eating this way I'm going to talk about in the next video, then that's what you want to do. But this is going to be the starter video to help you get eating more fruits and vegetables.